Today we have a very, very special announcement, and behind this door is something very big, very heavy, and very broken, which is why we will be using our Centurion ARV to manhandle the new project into the shed. And you'll be wondering, why aren't we using the Foden? And that's quite simple. It's too much for it. So we've got to make some minor adjustments to our Centurion ARV to get it ready for the job at hand. Well, that could have gone worse, couldn't it? This is our Centurion ARV. It weighs in at about 52 tons, and it's going to be exactly what we need to try and get this 65-ton Conqueror chassis into the workshop. The Foden did try its best, but the Foden weighing in just under 25 tons just wasn't man enough to make it steer. But before we can actually use this Cent, I want to put a special recovery brace on the front of it, which means modifications need to take place.
Going on west. I'm making nails. I've made zero progress.
Have you got yours out, Jack?
Huh?
Got yours out? What bloke?
Look, monitor can't do anything. Mine's like a move. Through your head. Drop. Better work in high school,
Off. Bet you're really glad you turned up to do a bit of work.
Oh yeah, come for a coffee.
We can go for a coffee in a minute. Just got to get this on and the tank back in and that tank over there. And
earn your coffee. Like
yeah, be midnight by the time we're finished.
Always nice to help out friends, isn't it?
It is.
I thought it might struggle more than that when it was being shoved down there.
It's only because it's wet and slipping. Pushing that about easy. That'll feel.
Couldn't drive a golf ball.
Oh, perfect! Bit of a babe, innit?
So we're going to be working with the Tank Museum to bring this Conqueror back to running life, much like the 4005, if you can remember back when we got that behemoth running and driving. And you might be wondering, well, the Tank Museum have already got a really nice Conqueror within the museum. Why not just stick a set of batteries on that and some fuel and done? Which is a good point. And a lot of people are going to ask that. And the reason for that is that vehicle is a reference vehicle. It's in really good condition and it needs to remain in really good condition. And essentially, driving these things over time wears them out. So that needs to remain in the museum as a reference vehicle in perfect order. But we want a vehicle that we can drive around in front of the public that they can enjoy. So that is why we have decided to use this hull here to make a running, driving Conqueror that the public can enjoy in person. And you might be wondering, where's the turret? And that's a very good point. So this vehicle here is what's known as the Windsor Turret, or it's known for having the Windsor Turret. And what that is basically a large piece of metal that was slapped on the hull when they were developing the actual turret. So while the turret was in development, they could put this ballast weight on to simulate the same weight so they could trial the chassis and suspension. After that was complete, it was fitted back on this, and this was pretty much used as a tug. So this vehicle's not really played a very significant role. But then again, I don't think any Conqueror has. That's not the point here, though. So what are we going to do with the vehicle? Well, first of all, we need to have a look at it and see exactly what we're up against. We need to have a look at the engine, have a look at the gearbox, see what we've got, see what's missing, and see some of the problems. Now, as I've looked around the vehicle, I have noticed several things already, and that is down here. The track tensioning nut and collar have been removed. If you're wondering what that is, it should look like that. So that is something we need to find and sort. There are a number of wheel stations on the vehicle that are damaged. So we've got broken springs to deal with, and there's bound to be a lot of other things. But just visually looking round, we've got bin boxes, track guards, lots of rot on the lighter panels. But this is all stuff that can be mended, not a great problem. The track is in overall good condition, from what I can see. The running gear isn't awful, so that's good. We need to have a little look at the engine, and of course at some point we're going to have to address lifting that great big turret off the hull. Because before we can really start the restoration, we need to strip everything down. And we're going to have to start with some really heavy lifting. But let's not get bogged down with that in this video. Let's have a proper look inside the engine bay now and see if this tank can be saved. Our first job is to open up the engine decks. In this case, to make it easier, because we're going to have to pull all the engine and everything out, we're going to try and heat up the pins, take the pins off and take the decks completely off, gearbox and engine side, before we start doing any work to it, because they're too heavy to keep opening and closing a million times. And we're going to strip the whole vehicle down anyway. So we just thought, let's start on this. We can have a look at the engine, see what conditions it's in, get a camera down the plug holes and all of them. Will you shut up?
You shut up.
No, you shut up.
Our first job.
And see how the engine looks inside. Adam's on the gas, Hewes site manager in, Jack's staring paint. And doing a great job. Bit of weight on that. First glimpse of the M120. Oh, M120! So we can now actually see the M120 engine for the first time, and it doesn't actually look too bad. We have just took the internal spark plugs out of this side because there's still a fuel tank in it with fuel in. It's gone completely black. So we took the internal spark plugs out for this bank, and we took the external ones out for that bank. And believe it or not, they don't actually look awful. They've all got a bit of carbon on the end. Even the caps have still got grease on the end of them. So we don't actually know anything about the engine. We know apparently the vehicle was driving about 30 to 40 years ago. We don't know how long it's been outside. It's obviously been outside for quite a long time. But the good thing is, it is all here. It's very complete. We've got all the bits that we need. Now, we probably could find bits and pieces if we need it, but we want to try and retain as much of the original engine and transmission as we can. So today we are going to get our borescope or whatever it's called, put down each cylinder, check each cylinder for any corrosion, just to make sure everything looks okay in there. And then we're going to put some ATF oil down each bore and then just try and see, because we haven't had a bar on it at all yet, but we'll probably just try and bar the engine over slowly. We've checked the main engine oil. It's actually quite clean, but before we start turning it or anything, we're going to drop the oil, put some fresh in, do just a couple of checks and just try and turn the engine over. Going to have a little look inside the magnetos, take the caps off, have a little look, see how corroded they are inside. They might not be as bad as they look, because they look pretty awful. So yeah, we're going to do a few checks, and fingers crossed, as bad as this engine may look, I'm going to have a little bit of hope that it may run again. I do have, because for anyone that isn't aware, this is basically the same as the engine in the Centurion, except this one is early fuel injected. So it is in fact 810 horsepower rather than 600 horsepower. And it has like an early injection pump, which is almost like a diesel injection pump. It's shaft driven and then turns some gubbins, and each one of these here is a fuel injector. And of course the Centurion over there just has 2 Zenith carburetors. So I have been told that the fuel system on these is incredibly complicated, and the engines can be a little bit troublesome with the timing and that side of things. So we'll take a little look, see if we can't sort it out.
Oh,
Hurrah!
big man. Oh, wow. Oh, there's a plug hole. There is a plug hole.
I'll tell you
That
what.
is looking good.
That's clean.
The valves, look at the valves, they're down.
Oh, yeah. No damage?
Look, there's the other spark plug.
Yeah. That bore looks very good.
That does look nice, actually. Oh, well, slap some batteries on it, start her up.
Well, let's check them all.
No.
Let's send it.
One's good. The rest might be bad.
Look as well, we've noticed, people, it's got a Chieftain, almost looking like a Chieftain alternator. And I reckon it's got a Chieftain starter motor on the inside.
Just shut up, will you? Adam's got to find another one.
Look, it's clean. It's very clean.
Jesus Christ, it's swapping.
Oh, look how it's in and out of
Hold
holes.
Oh,
with precision.
I tell you what, yeah, your mum's a lucky woman.
Look, that piston's up.
Right, before we get too excited, shall we just check the inner ones? Because we'll find out they're all full of like carbon.
It'd be like a T34, the other bank.
I like this little bit of grate here. This is really I'm a big fan.
They've done that, but then it hasn't got the grate over that. The bit that could do without being stood.
No,
What?
it's fine.
It's absolutely not.
It's absolutely.
Show the camera.
Show the camera. Oh, this camera.
Well, I don't know where the thing is!
Jesus Christ.
Useless.
Oh, there's a little bit of corrosion there.
Where?
Yeah.
About? Yeah, just the.
A little bit,
alright.
not too bad.
That'll burn
That's where somebody's
straight
been
off.
running it on the wrong petrol.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Not quite so easy.
Oh, this one's
Hello.
a bit of a challenge. Hello.
Oh, we're all looking at the tiny little hole. Does that make it better?
It's actually in pretty good nick, though, isn't it?
That's alright.
You can still see the hones. Honing.
What did you just call me?
Look at that, look. It almost looks like a liquefied valve seat.
Don't say things like that.
I'm not going to, it's fine. Right,
That was a very negative thing to come out with.
but it did look very...
We're used to engines that are absolutely seized up, and then the one that's perfect, you're picking faults with the cylinder head.
Yeah, well, I'm striving for perfection here.
That was clean. Very clean.
Very clean. Considerably clean.
This is
He did
clean.
say it's been stored outside and it hasn't.
No?
No.
Well, I think there's been times where it's been outside.
Last one?
That is pretty good news.
Just dropped the valve in this one.
No, it hasn't.
It is down.
It's not drab. Stupid boy. Oh, that
Is that?
That is very good news. We're going to put some ATF down all the boards now, and then we'll see if it will turn over gently with a pry bar. How's the oil priming?
Done. Do you want to turn the engine?
I'll go and get a bar. We're now inside the Conqueror, and this is it as we got it before we started doing any work. It is massive in here. So this one doesn't have the turret basket at the moment, but it still has the rollers for the basket are still in place in areas. Internal air cleaners on a Conqueror, a little bit like the Centurion bar. That's pretty cool. And generally, first glance, it's actually survived quite well in here. There has been times where water has been in the bottom of the hull. That is a standard tank issue. These are the gear rods. They aren't completely rotted out, but we'll be changing them anyway. And over there we've got some sort of crew heater, which is quite unusual. Didn't even know they had a heater in them. Batteries that aren't original, which says that people have been using this semi-recently. Dashboard, everything looks like it's actually here. Driver's seats there, it's in a bit of a state, but it's here. Isolator box, don't believe it. The batteries are flat. But it all seems to be in pretty good condition. So what we're going to do now is we're going to remove those old batteries and put some other ones on and see if any of the electrical systems work. Oh,
You got a drawer?
we have ignition.
The electrical basto's not switched on, is it?
No. But we have got an ignition, so things are looking good. Right, I'll isolate it for a minute. Get these batteries connected semi-properly. I need a new tappy thing because I've used the tappy thing. Shit. A minute. I've got my leather. Whoa, what was that?
That was a tappy thing.
Oh, no.
This is a brilliant thing to drop something into.
Always hit battery terminals on with hammer. I'm pretty sure that's one of the 10 commandments. Okay, let's see if it cranks over on its own. Just thinking, do we want to disconnect ignition, cranking.
Oh!
Ready?
Yeah. And again?
We've got half again.
How many?
We've got up to 5.
Whoa.
You ready?
Yeah. Okay.
Any more?
That'll do for a minute.
Okay. So amazingly, it actually turned over really well, which is almost to be expected because of the condition that we first looked at of the bores before we started the engine. It's always good to check your engine if you can with a camera before you crank it over like that. That has been stood for years. But in this case, we were looking, everything seems to be okay. So what we're going to do now is see what the condition of the magneto is, which will be the limiting factor of its spark if there's anything untoward. So far, other than flaky paint, that looks unbelievably good in there. Where is the torch?
No idea. Where have you had it?
I think there's one on the front hull. That is incredibly good condition. Right, Seb, we need a small flat blade screwdriver, and I can see that the points are stuck together. So we'll
I don't think I can get that.
let's get a torch in here.
Yep.
The torch on. Right, so these are very, very similar to a Centurion magneto. So I'm going to take the rotor arm off, but that also seems to be in pretty good condition. Sometimes these can be a bit of a pig to get out of the body of the mag, so I'm just hoping this one isn't too awful because they are very, very delicate things. I think they're made out of Bakelite.
do believe it's coming. There we go. And the end of these is a piece of carbon. It's very easy to flick it off like I just did then and break it. But we got lucky that time, so I'm going to put him over. I can't knock him over. Now we can see the points, same as the Centurion, dual points. You can see quite clearly that they have corroded quite a lot. So what I'm going to do is take the clip off, pull the points apart, give them a clean, and then we will crank it and see if it does spark. I'll have to do the same to the one behind me here and see if we can get both sets sparking. The inside of the cap actually looks clean, so I'm not going to touch that for now. Doing the points on the other side is going to be a bit of a problem because the GUE's in the way. It should be great fun. Right, okay. I'll try not to drop all this now. Father washing. Look how corroded that point is there. Right, but now I've got it apart. I'm careful not to knock any of the insulation wire off. I'll give them a clean up and they should be quite alright. Seb, will you go and find a very fine piece of sanding paper? Ask Jack. We want some like P2000 or something like that. Really, really fine. These are cleaning up an absolute treat.
Adam, you had a bit of a rogue spray there.
Hey, what?
Bit of a rogue spray, mate.
Would it go in his ear?
It might have done, yeah.
A little bit more.
Yeah. Got one sparking like buggery. One sparking really well. I've got one sparking really well, one weren't sparking much at all. I'm going to try and trick it with a screwdriver. Crank it again. Crank again. Crank again! One more time. One more crank. Yeah, I reckon that'll work. Yeah, try again. If you want to help with the project in any way, visit the link below or the Tank Museum's website, and a £25 donation will guarantee your name on the vehicle somewhere, and more importantly, a chance to be a passenger in the vehicle at Tankfest 2028, which is when we plan to get this vehicle fully operational by. So no pressure to our team. We're really pleased to be working with the Tank Museum once again on another project like this, and it's a massive one. Hope you've all enjoyed the video, and we'll see you again.
The Tank Museum and Mr. Hewes. We came, we restored, we conqueror-ed.